Hey guys, I decided to make the Wrestlemania review part of my daily journal. There's always enough. One, my two, and all that. So I'll do that while I'm doing this unboxing. This is Tupperware, but look at this mess. It looks like you drop kicked the box. I mean, did the box go through WrestleMania? For God's sakes! Oh, you can't see my address anyway. I mean, this is absurd. Good thing what's inside it is not breakable. Otherwise, it'd be in a zillion pieces. Anyway, first match on the first day is Austin Theory versus John Cena. If you will recall, I said that I thought that they'd probably give it to Cena. I was wrong. Austin Theory actually won. I'm not surprised Cena did the job. I'm just surprised they asked Cena to do the job. Okay. That's the box. I didn't even know this was here, honestly. All I knew about was this little postcard that says, I'm renewing my Family Tree magazine, which is good. Layers of plastic. And they're each in a layer of plastic. Holy cow. Let me get these out of here. Anyway, that was a decent match. That's actually really good. Then again, I don't expect any less from Cena. John Cena is one of those people I get tired of after a while. But he's a good person. The kids mean a lot to him, and he is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'll show him to you in a minute. I love that they asked. Pick up no room. It can be frozen, microwave, whatever. Okay, these are the colors. I'll show you the lids for the colors. They had a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids out there at the top of the ramp, and Cena stopped and played with them on his way to the ring. And both are the same. I'm gonna get rid of some of my balls so I can move this box to do so. And use these. So there are all nests. I love it. I'm not the I'm gonna just these up here. And then continue on with this. Oh, I made a video last night, by the way. I started prepping to move the dresser. I have ordered the new dresser. It will be here a week from tomorrow. Okay, next match. I wrote the numbers next to the matches because they weren't in order. Was Strowman and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Vikings. Street Profits won. They called these WrestleMania Showcase matches. Basically, they're matches that allow more people to perform on the grandest stage of them all. So and I think it's a great idea. They had a women's one on the second night. Excuse me. In my opinion, this match was a show stealer. It was that good. The third match was Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Rollins did win. But I have to be honest here. I was impressed by what Logan Paul brought to the table. I really was. He trained better than, to wrestle better than I had imagined he would. Next match was Becky, Trish, and Lita versus Damage Control. That was another show stealer. Becky, Lita, and Trish did win. But all 6 ladies had, for Io Sky and Dakota Kai, who've never been to WrestleMania, they had their WrestleMania moment. It was amazing. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. Rey won, which you expect. Dom showed me something. He was not half bad. Then there was Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley won the SmackDown Women's Championship in a hard-fought battle. Then The Miz and Snoop Dogg were hosting WrestleMania, and they would come out periodically. I'll get into a couple of things, but the next match was The Miz versus McAfee. Sort of an impromptu thing. They did something like that on night 2 as well. McAfee beat The Miz, that sort of thing. The next real match was the main event of night 1. The Usos defending their titles against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Owens and Zayn are the new WWE World Tag Team Champions. And I'll tell you what, that was another show stealer. That was a hell of a match. You know how many times I thought it was over? It was a jaw-dropping weekend, that's all I can say. Now, before I get to night 2, I want to tell you about my night 1 notes. Okay. Like I said, Dominic showed me a lot. I was impressed by what he could do. Matter of fact, Bad Bunny, some kind of, I don't know. I guess he's hosting the next event, which will be in Puerto Rico. Some kind of rapper or something. Took a chair out of Dom's hand. As I mentioned, the next pay-per-view, Backlash, May 6th, will emanate from San Juan, Puerto Rico. That'll be a first. In the women's title match, everyone involved was female. The ring announcer, the referee, and of course both participants. But both participants, the ring announcer and the referee, were all female. First time in wrestling history. And I really believe that was the match of the night. Charlotte was smiling and patted her chest as she sat outside the ring. It looked to be genuinely happy for Rhea. And she even tweeted how happy she was for her. Such a class act. The attendance the first night was 80,497 people. Yeah, the whole Ms. McAfee thing was stupid. A fellow football player at ringside helped him. Next year, Wrestlemania will emanate from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to see some ECW Hall of Famers. I mean, think about it. They went world class when they were in Dallas. Why wouldn't they go ECW in Philadelphia? Just makes sense. So we're probably not getting our Midnight Express next year either. But anyway. That would be my guess. Okay. Night 2. Lesnar versus Omos kicked it off. Omos kicked his butt all around the ring, and then Lesnar came up with an F5 out of nowhere and beat him. It was terrible. If you like big powerhouses that do nothing but throw each other around, then you would have enjoyed it. But I thought it was the worst match on the entire card, both nights, hands down. Terrible. But anyway, it's my opinion. The next match was the women's showcase match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natty and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They were a match made in hell. Versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. And I don't mean that because Ronda and Baszler were a bad team. I mean that because they're both powerful, intimidating, rough, tough figures. It was a perfect match. But you couldn't call it a match made in heaven, you know? What I meant by a match made in hell is I meant a match made in hell for any other team that has to go up against them. Anyway, they won. Rousey got the armbar and there was a tap out. But it was an awesome match. Then we had Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Actually, I guess they call him Gunter. The H is silent. In English, it's Gunther. But anyway. But in German, it is Gunter. He did win. Actually, it wasn't half bad. I mean, was it the best match on the card? Of course not. There were way too many show stealers for that. The next match was Bianca Belair versus Asuka. That was beyond a fantastic match. That was another just show stealer. They had so many of them. It was incredible. And I will say, every wrestler at WrestleMania, when it comes to their entrance, brings out their A+++++ game. I mean, it's insane. Let's see. It was just an incredible match. Bianca retained the championship. It was back and forth, hard hitting. Just what I want to see out of a women's match. Check's complete. Wow, that didn't take long. That's a good sign. Maybe that means my videos won't take long today. Trying to find another dough. There we go. Save. publish. I'll do the rest of this after. The next match was Edge and Baylor, Hell in a Cell. That was wild. They ended up stopping it for a couple of minutes to bring in medical personnel because Finn Balor got busted open. And WWE doesn't do that, so you know it was hard way. I think he got hit full force with the chair because he didn't block it in time. It happens, you know. So they came in and checked on him. He did do, I was wrong about something. I had said that I didn't think he could do the demon character as the heel. I was absolutely wrong. Admittedly, completely and utterly wrong. Because he did. And that's who Edge wanted to face, I guess. I hadn't been watching, so. Edge wins, but it was a brutal, hard-fought battle. Matter of fact, when he hit him with the ladder, it kind of hit him like that, and blood just splattered all over the mat. It was horrible. So they immediately sent the ring doctor in. Unlocked the door, sent the ring doctor in, the whole bit. You thought the match was over, which would have been a riot because the match was amazing. But it continued, and that was fairly early on in the match. So anyway, it wasn't right at the beginning, but it was fairly early on in the time frame of the match. Anyway, it was a great match. I didn't expect anything less because I know Edge is great, and Finn Balor is just freaking amazing. And of course, the main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the title. Reigns won. He shouldn't have. I'm sorry, he shouldn't have. I'm not happy. By the way, Brandy was there with Little Liberty, and Cody went up and he held her, and it was so cute. She had these little headphones on to protect her ears, and she yanked them off herself. Daddy! It was sweet. And Teal was there, and Dusty's widow was there, Michelle. So, and he even, oh my gosh, I was in tears. He had Brody Huber there, the son of John Huber, aka, well, they said Luke Harper, but he was also known as Brody Lee, at ringside, sitting with the Rhodes/Reynolds family. He gave him his weight belt, which I guess ended up in the hands of Solo Sikoa at some point, but I'm sure eventually it got back to Brody. I also figured out that the Judgment Day is the most ethnically diverse faction, I think, ever in wrestling history. Because you have literally representatives of all over the world. Balor's Irish. Let's try that again. Balor is Irish. Ripley is Australian. Dominic is Hispanic. And then Damian Priest is white. But I don't think I've ever seen a faction that ethnically diverse. Usually they're all white. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Technically, Ripley and Balor are white. But I'm just talking about being from all over the globe. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that Ripley is the first Australian women's champion in WWE. Shane McMahon came out during Miz and Snoop Dogg's hosting duties and started to wrestle Miz. Snoop ended up punching Miz out. He then dropped the people's elbow and pinned him after Shane hurt his knee on a leapfrog. I don't think he really hurt his knee. Shane looked phenomenal. A man his age shouldn't be able to jump that high. I mean, oh my gosh, I was in tears. There's a little dance troupe of little girls from about, I don't know, 5 to 11 maybe, that they brought in from Compton. They come from a girls' empowerment sort of a, and lifting them up, because obviously they're African American girls in Compton. That's unfortunately a poor black community, or a poor black community, I should say, for the most part, in Los Angeles. And they brought them in. They're extremely talented dancers. And they danced to bring Bianca Belair in for her match. And she came out. Oh my gosh. She, and they all had the long braids and were swinging their braids. And she came out and she danced with them a little bit before she went to the ring. And then she did her post-match interview, and I was in tears. They had the girls come in, and they were all chanting EST, EST, and they were all around her, and she just was so happy. She's such a nice girl. So I had a couple of teary moments. Anyway, oh, by the way, Michael Cole acknowledged that Roman Reigns was a part of the NOI family, because he said he was the 15th member of the NOI family to main event a WrestleMania. Now, I'd have to think about that, because Yokozuna main evented WrestleMania. I'm trying to think. Oh, The Rock is technically a member of that family, so we go there. I have to think about it to figure out what he was talking about. And he is the first person to defend the same title 3 WrestleManias in a row. So those were my night 2 notes. Anyway, guys, I would definitely give the show overall an A-, because there were only a couple of matches that were just awful, in my opinion, or that weren't up to WrestleMania standards. and they were Lesnar almost, and that's it. Just Lesnar and Omos, and the stupid stuff they did with the Miz. The Miz should have been wrestling. It's Wrestlemania, but yeah, can't fit everybody, I guess. That's just my opinion. Alright, guys. I'm going to end the vlog here. I am going to take you in the kitchen and we're going to put the food in the crock pot. Get that all done. Then we're going to go get that dresser into the closet because I do have a place to put the TV now that I'm using the smaller TV until the new dresser arrives. So that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to decorating that dresser. My clothes will still be in it for now, for a week, but that's okay. That's okay. So I'll see you for our food video. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you in a bit. Please subscribe. Please click that bell. You can customize it. God bless you. Bye-bye.